All right. Audio's on, I think. Yeah. We're going to see stream health, messages, stream status, stream settings, analytics. There's all kinds of buttons to click on. And I'm sorry, YouTube. I'm sorry that I'm not streaming at the video rate that you want. Not the whole. Oh, okay, great. People can hear us. Yeah, we haven't started yet. We have no idea what we're doing. There's absolutely no idea what we're doing. We're gonna start here in a second. Yeah, yeah, that is coming next. All right, good. Things are happening. I almost feel competent. Oh man, was this a good idea? I don't know if this was a good idea. Oh, Andy's here. Look at Andy. Yeah, man, we have fans. Yeah, yeah. All right. Ah, boy. As we're setting up here and I'm looking around my streaming setup, I just realized that I've spent way too much money on all this. Yeah, yeah. I don't know how I feel about it. And will let most anyone into these things. All right. Couple more minutes and we're going live. Yeah. Hey, 6 concurrent viewers. Last chance to back out, man. No, no. I mean, I might take it personally. There's a pretty good chance I'll take it personally. No, they're saying they can't hear you, Paul. That's interesting. Let's see here. Oh, I think I know why. All right,
Did you?
Paul, say something again.
I'm saying something right now.
All right, now they should be
Check,
able to hear
check,
me.
check, 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 check.
Aha! I think it's happening.
Red leather, yellow leather.
Red leather, yellow leather.
Is that better? Can people hear
We
me
can hear
now?
Paul. Okay, look at that.
Okay.
We saw. See, that's why we're not
Hey, look
live
at,
yet. That's why we're not
yeah.
live yet. This is all a fever dream. You guys aren't hearing
Woo.
anything.
Yeah.
All right. All right. You know what? I think it's time, Paul. You ready?
Is it?
I don't know. Is it 8? Is it 9 o'clock? I think it's 9 o'clock.
Almost. It's almost. It's almost 9 o'clock.
It's almost 9
Hold
o'clock.
on. You got like 20 seconds.
All right. Welcome everyone. Okay. We're very punctual. I'm sure they'll be very punctual. There's a title.
Okay, it's 9 o'clock.
It's 9 o'clock. All right. I think it's time. All right. We're switching to the live view. Boom. There we are. It's happening. It's all happening.
Oh,
Have this set to a super low latency, so it should switch over any second. Hey,
yeah.
there we are. I think we're
Good.
live.
Good evening, Drew.
Hey, Paul. How we doing?
Oh, living the dream. I'm very excited to be here tonight.
Yeah. Was this a good idea? I don't know if this was a good idea.
This was the best idea we've ever had.
Okay. All right. Okay, so for those of you just tuning in live, but there's an echo. Interesting.
Oh, no.
Oh, I see why. Okay, hang on a second.
Okay.
Hang on a second. Yeah. All right. So
Oh,
now there shouldn't be an echo. I understand now. All right. If there's still an echo, you can let us know in the chat. Oh, speaking of, so big 50th episode live show. We're obviously streaming this live on YouTube. So welcome to those of you in the chat right now. If you're in the chat,
Yeah.
make sure you say hi. For logistical
Uh-oh.
purposes.
There's echo only when I talk.
Well, what about now? I
Oh,
fixed it. I think I fixed it.
Do you fix it?
Did I fix it? Somebody tell us we fixed it. We have a show to do.
It's a little bit. There's a little bit of delay. I'm kind of keeping an eye on the channel. So,
Yeah.
I mean, internet. YouTube's doing what YouTube does.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Hey, we're good now. Nope, not
Okay,
now. We can
I
start.
did it. I fixed it.
Hey,
Man,
technology.
I'm pretty good at computers. Okay, so anyway,
Hey.
logistically, right? So we're streaming on YouTube tonight. This is our big 50th episode. I never thought we would make it 50 episodes because we're pretty. I don't know. I'm pretty boring. I don't have that much to talk about. But we're 50 episodes into this whatever this is. I'm in the chat as doing their best user because I'm like running the stream. Paul is signed in over on his computer as Paul. So if you're in there and you want to say hi and you want to talk to us and comment and snipe from the peanut gallery, like, don't hesitate. Like, just pop in and say hi. We're doing this mostly for us, if I'm honest. I don't know if it's necessarily for you, but it's mostly for us because this is fun. But yeah, welcome to our big 50th episode. Woo, 50
Woo!
episodes.
50.
Yeah, big 50.
Explosions.
Yeah. Okay, so
Oh.
if you, you know what? I don't want to like dive into this too quickly. So Paul, tell me how you're feeling. What do you think? 50 episodes in.
Dude, I'm excited. It's been about a year since we started doing this. I wasn't sure how it would go, whether we would stick with it. But we have. I think we've actually, in the 50 episodes in the year, we've missed 2 weeks, mostly because we're incompetent people and adults.
We lack a lot of responsibility, if we're honest.
Yeah, that's true. But dude, I'm still enjoying it. Like, I'm surprised we have as many listeners as we do. So yeah, I'm having a good time just talking with you every week, and everything else is gravy. How are you feeling, Drew?
It's good. I've had some productive days. We're gonna talk about like our current status updates and the things that we normally talk about. But I've been feeling pretty good. I've been looking forward to this all week. For those of you watching the stream and were here before we started, all of these lovely backgrounds and everything, I took time and actually did those in Apple Motion, which I know we've talked about before. And like, I'm not an artistic person at all, but learning that program has been super fun. So if you ever had like an urge to stream or do anything like that, definitely check it out because it makes creating these things so fun and so easy. So pretty cool stuff. Okay, so where do you want to start? Because we've got the doc and like we could start anywhere here.
I mean, why don't we just why don't we do the first thing on there? Let's talk about our favorite image so far. Yeah, let's get all nostalgic.
Okay,
nostalgic.
So we're gonna do the thing that everybody hates when their favorite shows do when they hit a milestone, and that's to do a clip show. We're not actually going to do a clip show, but Paul and I, we had a homework assignment last week where we were going to compile the favorite episodes or favorite moments of the show that we've done. And Paul, how many did you come up with?
Well, we said to get 2 each, and I got my list down to a tight 1, 2, 3, 6, 6 with an honorable mention.
All right, I have
mostly
5.
I was concerned that if you were pick one that I would like, then I wouldn't have one. So
fair, yeah. Yep. I got mine down to 5.
Okay.
But we're gonna see how it goes. So why don't we do the thing we normally do where we go back and forth, and I'll let you go first.
Okay. Should we go? I'm gonna go with my favorite moment. This is my personal favorite moment. It was it was a span of episode 37 to 38. It's when you reviewed a cleaning product and destroyed your AirPods.
So that's my number 1 too.
Okay.
First of all,
that was the best.
Yeah, if the listener, and I'm not going to name names, but they know who they are. If the listener is watching right now, I'm going to send you the bill for these AirPods. So for those of you that don't remember or maybe didn't listen to this episode, we got a tip that I think we were talking. If I remember correctly, we were talking about how we clean our electronics.
Yep.
And someone gave us a question like, hey, have you ever used this product to clean your like keyboards or phones? Oh, hey, Andrew Wickham. There he is. That's the person. Yeah, it was you. You did it. So what happened was he said, hey, what about this product? What do you think of this? And I thought, let's take a flyer on it. So I bought the yellow lemon goop from Amazon. It got shipped to me, and we did a live on-air kind of review of using it to clean various things. So I cleaned my keyboard, and then I cleaned my AirPods, because my AirPods might have been the grossest thing I own and still own. So we did a live cleaning, and it actually did a pretty good job of cleaning my AirPods. But then the next morning when I went to plug them in and use them, like the left one was just dead. And let me back up. Like it wasn't dead, but it just was like super quiet, and it ruined them. So I don't have the cleaning supplies anymore. I think I threw that thing away. But yeah, it was pretty nasty. So yeah, that made my list too. And I don't really have mine in any kind of like chronological or favorite order. They were just moments that really stuck out with me from the show.
All right.
But that one was my first one. So okay, so I'll skip that one.
Okay.
I think the one that I probably had the most fun with doing with you was the Kindle trivia game.
Oh, that was good. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you wanna recap that one for everybody?
Yeah. So Drew had recently got a Kindle for his 40th birthday. That was early.
Yeah,
his super surprise 6-month early birthday party. And so we started reading some Kindle books, and it was his first real exposure to the Kindle bookstore. And he made me play a game where I had to try to guess the real book title and the book title he made up. And it turns out they were all real book titles.
Yeah.
So he got me pretty good. Real. Spoiler. Yep. Yeah. If you haven't listened to that episode, I ruined it for you. But
I want to say that was episode like 9.
Yeah.
I think it was like episode 9 where we did that. I can't remember exactly because the show notes are tenuous at best because I'm really bad at updating them. But it definitely took place after the surprise 40th birthday party, which was you know pretty funny for those of you that were there or didn't hear that episode. That was a really good one. So yeah, that was my next one. What do you got after that?
So my next one, episode 29, where I talked about Zach's history. This one wasn't as fun. This was more of a personal moment where I shared the history of Zach and his liver transplant and stuff. That episode just meant a lot to me, to get that story out there. And that was just me. It was just nice to share. So
yeah, that was a really good one. You really opened up about kind of that whole thing, and it was something that when I first met you, when I first started working with you, I didn't fully understand or appreciate, and then as I've gotten to know you over the years, I know what all that entails, and I thought that was a really kind of poignant episode. So I think we don't keep it serious very often, but as far as serious points go on the show, I think that was probably one of our best, if not the best.
Yeah. All right, Drew, hit me.
All right, my next one is the Christmas treat episode.
That's a good one. That's what was on my list as well.
Not just because like you vastly outgifted me. Let's be real. Okay?
No.
It's okay. You vastly outgifted me, but the other thing was that there were so many little things going on in that episode. Like that was the episode where like I was trying to water cool my computer and it was broke, and then I was recording on like suboptimal hardware, and and then you sent me this wonderful Christmas gift of a mesh wireless network for my house, and that was pretty much a game changer. I just thought that was a pretty wholesome yet funny, nuanced episode.
Yeah, and you got me into the Battle Jacket lifestyle. Like I literally like right here off camera is my little container full of like my patches I have to sew on and my sewing stuff. So
all right. So time out. Right, I was gonna save this as a little treat for the besties, but I really feel you got to wear the Battle Jacket on cam. I really do.
I've got a patch that's like not sewn on correctly. I'm not sure it's going to work.
Don't tell me your problems.
All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. You're going to have to give me a minute. I'm going to have to walk. It's literally right up there in the closet. So give me a minute. I'll put on the Battle Jacket. I'll be right back.
I'm going to vamp for a second.
You have to vamp for a second. Yeah.
Right, I'll vamp for a second. I'll be live on camera. I wasn't sure he was actually going to go for that, to be honest, but you guys get a special fashion treat. That episode cost me $200. Yeah, Andy, is that the episode? Is that when you bought your mesh network after that episode? That was a good one. Jerry. Oh, Jerry the Smells Nice Guy. Jerry with a G. I didn't know it was Jerry with a G. So Jerry the Smell Nice Guy. That's the only way I know of you, because people say how nice you smell. Cool. Glad you're here. Oh, look at this. Look at this special boy. Here comes a special boy. Who's a special boy?
All right.
Look at this. Look at this guy. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Whew. Okay. All right. Yeah. I gotta slow down, buddy. Look at you.
Oh.
Hey, watch you give Daddy a little spin.
All right. Hold on. I guess my chair's in the way. It's gonna be really awkward. Hold on.
All right. Your gamer chair.
Yep.
Oh.
I got a patch that's not quite on all the way yet.
Oh, look at that. Middle. Oh, look at that. Oh, so good. That's a good looking Battle Jacket. So how many more patches do you got now?
Oh, I don't know. I've got. Let's look.
Okay.
See, I got my thing here. So let me dig in there. I've got a Skeleton Witch patch that's got to go on. A Dark Funeral patch that's got to go on. And a mayhem patch that's going to go on. That one's got upside down crosses because it's naughty.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's it. I really haven't been going to a lot of metal shows, so
Yeah, but that'll change.
or
and,
or,
and
or
when
any.
you do, and when
Yeah,
you do,
yeah.
so you got a Lamb of God there on the upper right.
Yep. Tribulation here.
Tribulation. Okay.
I'm working on the back. I'm working on the Satyricon patch, which is falling off. And then I got a behemoth.
That behemoth
back.
patch looks dope.
Yeah, the behemoth back patch. I'm really happy about that one.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yep.
Good job, man.
Yep.
That's looking really good. All right. Boy, that
yeah, Jerry has the same mayhem patch. Yeah.
All right, that was mine. What do you got next?
Okay. Ooh, it's getting warm in here. Episode 5. Drew eats a corn dog, or did he?
No, I didn't eat a corn dog. Let's just move on. That was not a corn dog. I don't care what anybody says. For those of you that are listening and actually want to treat me to a corn dog, I will eat it. What I had at Roosters was not a corn dog. Yeah, that didn't count. That didn't count. But we tried, and we did go to Roosters, and that was really good.
It was good. Yeah. I miss Roosters.
Yeah. Okay. My next one is when we talked about 631 guy. Because I wanted you so badly to record him without his knowledge.
Oh, I miss you, 631 guy.
All right, tell the audience about 631 guy for the people who maybe didn't hear that episode. That was episode 18, according to my notes.
Yeah. So 631 guy was a when I was taking my daughter to her soccer practices, he was one of the adults there, and he was very concerned when the practice went past 6:30. Like around like 6:25, 6:28, he would start like pacing, and then like at 6:31, he'd be like, "Excuse me, practice is it's past 6:30. The practice is over." Then he would just grab his kid and go. It was just like the fun part was just watching it built inside of him that like, oh yeah, I'm gonna say something. Something.
Yeah, I really wanted to hear that. That was a good one too. What do you got?
I'm gonna go all the way back to episode 2, where I talked about why I like heavy metal music.
Yeah, that was a really good one because as somebody who really can't appreciate heavy metal, that was like an exposure into a world that I don't fully understand.
Yeah.
So I really appreciated that episode 2. That was a really good one. Like we were just starting to hit our stride in like episode 23, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really good one. The last one I have is a little bit of a cop out.
Okay.
But it is back when we had people recording the custom intros, when we were just starting out and people like really pitched in and buckled up and actually recorded some intros for us.
Yeah, that was my honorable mention. Yep. Yeah, I really loved all that. That was and we were, at the beginning we were trying to figure out what we were doing and whether we'd have like an intro. I had intro music for the first few episodes and then I just gave up on that and we had but it's good. I like the cold open now. I think we've hit our stride, but that was a good time.
The cold open has been pretty good, I think. But still, for those of you that actually like recorded those intros and everything, like that was super great. Really appreciated it. Thank you. Maybe we'll like do some those in the future, or maybe when Paul's feeling a little bit special, he'll throw one of those in. So.
All right, I'll just go. I got one more. I'll just throw it out there. It was episode 12 and 13 when we did our personality assessments.
Oh God, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Turns out I'm extra broken, right?
Me too, buddy. Me too.
Yeah. But if you want to hear about all the different ways we're broken, episode 12 and 13 we did disc assessments, and I still have mine somewhere. Not super proud of it.
I do too.
Turns out mine was pretty spot on. Paul took his kind of seriously, but it was good. It was good.
Oh, man, that was a good time.
Man.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Well, why don't we jump into new business? So.
Okay.
All right. So here in Ohio, I had a really good day today because for those of you that don't live in Ohio, things are finally starting to open back up here, and two things happened this week that made me extra happy. The first was I was able to go into my gym. Now gyms aren't officially open yet, but I went in and met my trainer, and we did some personal training, like not in the gym, but
nice.
We were able to get together and actually do some personal training. So I had been complaining on this podcast that I had hurt my foot. I wasn't able to run. I wasn't able to do anything. So my trainer met me. We were able to like borrow an exercise bike from the gym and do a workout and use a barbell. And man, I came back from that workout and I felt better than I did like the past 6 weeks. Like it was so invigorating to get out of my house and go work out. Like that just felt so freaking good.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really good to get out of the house. Really, really good. And then the second thing that happened today was the place that I get pho from, or pho, however you say it, right?
However you want to say it.
Is open. It is open for business again. I got noodles and beef broth, and I just really felt good about it. So things are getting back to normal-ish. We actually have a dinner reservation for Saturday night, which will be kind of interesting.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be good. But what about you? What you give me an update, because last episode there were some things that were concerning you. How are things?
I mean, things are fine. Like, obviously things are opening back up, but we're still we are still staying pretty sheltered in place, not doing much, not ordering any food, just staying home. But a big thing in my life that's coming back is comic books. Comic books are back.
Like they're actually shipping them?
Yeah, so I mean, I do all mine digitally, but they stopped the physical. They couldn't ship the physical comic books. They stopped the digital release as well. So I've actually read like a new comic book, and I've got one ready to go, including the Buffy reboot from Boom Comics. Is the first issue came back out yesterday. I haven't got to read it yet, but yeah, finally a little bit of normalcy coming back. But on the downside, like, I mean, and friend of the show, Jerry here. Hi, Jerry, who's listening, knows this as well. A lot of our shows, Jerry goes with me to a lot of metal shows. Great guy, love him. And we had like just a great set of concerts like this spring and this summer. And the big one was we were going to go to Chicago to see Deftones and Gojira. We try to make a trip every year to go someplace. It's fun. It's a little brocation. And that one got canceled a couple of days ago or yesterday. Time, it's meaningless. And I knew it was going to be canceled. Like, and it's fine. But it kind of hurt every time you get a cancellation or a postponement. It's just like, I was going to go to that and buy a patch. And actually wear, like, my battle jacket was supposed to be like done and like just already on display, and all of those have been canceled. So I guess this is the first debut of it right here.
Yeah, no, it looks really good. I can't wait for you to get like a whole bunch of bodily fluids and like beer all over it.
Can't wash it. Never again. Never gonna get washed.
I think the word is patina. I think the word is patina.
Yeah,
that's the word. Yeah, but things are starting to open back up. I can understand the need for caution, obviously. So it's one of those things where probably, ease back into it, right?
Oh, and so how I was all, getting all nervous about Zachary leaving the house to get his labs and stuff. So a little bit of follow up with that. Turns out they didn't draw enough blood and didn't run enough tests, so he's got to go back out tomorrow to get more labs. But what are you gonna do?
So they basically said, we need more blood.
We need more blood. Yep.
I feel like that's something they would know ahead of time.
It was a mess up in the orders. We have like a standing lab order, and I guess they didn't pull it, or they pulled the wrong one and they didn't draw enough blood, and then they didn't run the right numbers. And I mean, it's fine. It's fine. Jennifer was my wife. I don't know if she's listening or not, but if she is, hi. She was real pleased with how they handled everything, and she did a good job keeping them safe. So I'm sure she'll do the same thing tomorrow, and it'll be all good.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad that everything's okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure that they've got like crazy protocols for that type of stuff, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. They're doing a good job. They know what's up.
Okay.
I mean, I wish we would see more people with masks down here in Grove City, the Grove City, Southern Columbus area, but
my freedom.
But my freedom, exactly.
But my freedom.
So.
Real quick before we jump on to the next topic, so what comics are you reading now? Because
Oh,
that's a
geez.
recurring theme on the show,
Okay,
right?
hold on.
What are you
Hold
currently
on.
reading?
I got to pull up my Comixology list, which means I probably got to sign into Amazon again.
Oh no, my comics.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Let's see. What am I reading? Uh, series subscriptions. It's not. It's really okay. Yep. So I only. I am. I'm a big Buffy nerd. So Boom Comics is doing a kind of a retelling of the Buffy the Vampire story set in modern time, and there's actually 3 comic lines for that. There's Angel, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer / Angel : Hellmouth. So all 3 of those together tell the story. And the other one that I'm reading right now is a series called Joker / Harley Criminal Sanity. It's kind of a as far as like Batman villains goes, I've always really enjoyed the Joker. I mean, obviously he's the big one, and this is uh, literally a reimagining of the Joker origin story, where it involves, instead of Harley Quinn being his like his doctor at Arkham, she's a forensic psychiatrist and profiler trying to track down a serial killer who happens to be the Joker. It's a few episodes. Let's see. I don't know how many. There are 4 issues in. The last one just came out last week, so it was really good. I have no idea how long it's going to run, but it's got a really interesting art style. It's mostly black and white, except for flashbacks that are in color. It's drawn really, really well. It's a truly beautiful comic, and the story's been really good so far. So,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all I'm reading right now. That is all I'm subscribed to.
Okay.
But maybe spoiler for future episodes. I did finish my rereading of The Watchmen.
I know what that means.
So so what I did is I finished it literally last Thursday after our last podcast. I had a little bit of energy, so I sat down and read, and I finished the last like 40 pages. And then over the weekend, I rewatched the original, the 2009, I think, Watchmen movie, just because it's not bad, and it's interesting how different the endings are. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I don't know. I was on a roll. It's better than a lot of people give it. The movie gets a lot of crap, and it's not that bad. It does end very differently than the comics, which is important because I started watching the Watchmen series on HBO.
You wanna do this now?
No, you know what? Should we do it? I mean, I'm only
Just do
6
it.
episodes in.
Just do it.
Dude, the show's really good.
It's really good, right?
It's really good.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it so much. It's I mean, you can tell that I'd have to do Google search to see who was the showrunner behind it, but man, they really love the source material. Answer the question coming from Jerry on the chat. I use Comixology only because I'm really, really lazy, and it's just nice to be able to hit the button and just buy them right from there. I know, like, I don't technically own them, whatever, but I don't care. And I actually read them on my beautiful 12 whatever inch iPad Pro, which is just an amazing device for reading comics. You can see the comics in a nice full screen. It's not like nothing's resized. It's mwah. With that Watchmen show, it's.
I can't remember. Were there 7 or 8 episodes?
I think there's 10 or 8.
I don't think there was 10. So you're getting close to the end. So things are starting to converge in your show.
Oh,
right?
yes.
Yeah. Things are starting to kind of pick up a little bit, right?
Yeah. It's like they really, really, and there's 9 episodes, right? So I'm 2/3 of the way through. I got 3 episodes left. And I mean, I think I will talk about this more. Maybe we'll do a spoiler episode when I'm done. But man, like how they're going back and revisiting these characters from the original comics and putting a new spin on them and kind of filling out that story, and like the commentary on like, I mean, obviously it's set in kind of a, alternate future or alternate reality America, but the commentary on how like we live our lives and uh whew, there's
Yeah, and
I'm getting overwhelmed. It's so good.
it's really good. It's really good. And yeah, well, we should probably. I want you to finish watching it before we talk about it too much. But like, if I have one complaint about the show, and I'm not trying to like put you off your beer here, is it gets a little too fast at the end because
That's okay.
it's really a good slow burn build up, and it's really interesting up until like the last two episodes when things kick into like a whole nother gear, and they have to wrap everything up, right? They have to put a little
Yeah.
bow on it. I get it, but the ending, it feels just a little bit rushed. Not bad. It's a good ending. I'm not complaining about the ending. It's just a little bit
Yeah.
rushed. They could have done, I think, maybe one more episode, but
Yeah.
the way they tie it back to the comic, um,
Mm-hmm.
the subject matter and the characters are just phenomenal. I'm glad you're
Yeah.
watching it, right? Because
Yeah. It's
I've
so
been
good
trying to get you to watch this
for
forever.
for a long time,
Yep.
and I finally made it.
And like, listen, if you haven't watched The Watchmen on HBO, it is deliberately confusing when you first start watching it. And in the chat, Matt Tremaines, friend of the
Yeah.
show, uh, he puts it pretty good. He's like, listen, the first episodes are really confusing, and it's that way on purpose. You have to stick with it to get that payoff. And I think that it definitely helps that if you've read the Watchmen comic beforehand, maybe
I
not
was
so
going to
much.
say that, like,
Not at the
dude,
beginning. Not at the beginning.
yeah, like, but even then, like, there's so many little callbacks, even at the beginning, that I'd be, I mean, I'd think you'd be lost if you haven't read the comics already, or you'd have to like get pause and have someone who watched the comics explain everything to you. But to Matt's point, like, I'm really thinking that when I'm done with this, I may go back and start over and watch it a second time through,
You'll
just
catch
to
a lot. You'll catch a lot.
just to catch all the things that I'm sure that I've missed, all the little pieces of foreshadowing and stuff. I'm really excited to see how it ends.
The only thing that might be confusing to you if you were to start watching the series is the whole Rorschach reference at first.
Yeah,
Right? You kind of
yeah,
have to know who he is and how he
hmm
acted for you to get the connection between
yeah,
the
and,
reference at the beginning to how it all relates.
yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
it's real good.
yeah,
It's real
and
good.
even then, like the stuff with the squids and like there's a lot of little things that you'd be really like. Well, I mean, they kind of bring that all together, at least where I'm at. But like,
I can't
like
remember.
if you read the comics and you see the squid fall, you're like, oh, I get it.
I don't know if you. I can't remember at what episode that whole squid storyline really takes a little bit of a curve. Maybe it has for you yet. I can't remember. I don't want to give too much away, but just stick with me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, maybe next episode we can do a spoiler cast, and I can, talk about it in
Oh man.
detail and give my give.
And Jerry Irons is Ozymandias. Could you get a better casting?
I know it was so good, so good.
Yeah.
And
So
the thing is, like, they that's a slow burn, right? They don't let you
it
know who
is.
that is, but like as
You
soon as
know
you're
it.
there, I
You know it,
know
but
you're
they
like,
don't say it. That you
yeah,
know
you're
it,
like,
but they don't say it. And then there's so
I know.
much weird stuff happening with him that isn't
Oh,
explained.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my God.
mhm,
And I don't
mhm.
know if you've
Oh.
gotten to his whole origin of how he got where he is. Yet.
Not yet. No, I
Okay. All
know
right.
he's in a weird
I've said too
place. I just
much.
don't
I've
know
said
where.
too
I don't know where
much.
he's at yet.
Yep.
I'm sure.
Stick.
Yeah, I'm sure that's coming.
Yeah.
I mean, for a little bit of spoilers, he did try to make like he escaped for the first time. Right.
Oh boy, you're in for a treat. You're in for a treat. Okay.
Oh,
All right. That's enough Watchmen talk, but I'm glad you are watching it. That
yeah.
makes me happy that you took my advice and did a thing. Okay, so things that spark joy. I recently ordered a new leather-bound notebook, seen here.
Okay.
Paul, I think I might have mentioned the company Grove Made on this podcast before, have I not?
Grove Made.
Do you remember when I used to have those wooden iPhone cases?
I was gonna say, is that the iPhone case company?
Yeah, so that's how they kind of got their start. Grovemade.com. They make really nice iPhone cases out of natural wood, and they're actually pretty strong. Really nice stuff. They have expanded into like a whole like desktop organization and like nice stuff for your desk, like a leather keyboard mat, mouse pad, phone charger, watches, knives, really bespoke artisanal stuff for your desk, and some everyday carry, right? So I got an email from them a few weeks ago that they were going to start producing notebooks, and I jumped because I knew that it was going to be really nice. And this is a leather-bound notebook
Mm-hmm.
produced by them, stickers by me. Which I gotta give a shout out to Eric Darling Data, who sent me some cool stickers. If he's still watching, he probably already bailed. He's probably playing Call of Duty, the scrub. But I got some cool. I even got my Tom Bin sticker on there too. But yeah, it's a really nice notebook. And it's interesting because I know that I've talked about like writing down notes on things before, like using OneNote, but I have since kind of gone back to writing things in notebooks because it helps me remember.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I might have mentioned that like I went online and I tried to find a like a nice writing notebook, and I found a decent one on Amazon that I ordered. And it was mostly like a pad instead of like a notebook. But this has got nice, thick, luxurious leather. It's got these really cool. That you can tell that it's sort of spiral bound.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got like these metal I don't even know what you would call them, but they're not like, see, they're not hollow. It's kind of hard to see. They're not hollow. They are metal, and like the pages are sort of like they're not hole punch, right? They're it's hard to explain.
Those are some chonky spirals, by the way.
They're very chunky spiral, and they're real metal, and they're really, really nice. And I say all this in service of that I think it's a really nice notebook. I'm really, really happy with it, and I can get refills for it too. If you're in the market for a notebook, I mean, they're not an affiliate. Like, I didn't get paid to say this, right? Like, nobody wants my opinion. But it's a nice leather notebook. I'm really happy with it, and like I said, I've just been using a notebook to basically keep all my notes these days. I don't know if you do the same. Yeah. I think you're probably a Bear guy still, right?
Yeah, like every once in a while, I get on the kick where I'm gonna like grab a pad of paper and a pen and go to my meeting with that. But my handwriting is just awful, just absolutely atrocious, and there is a well beyond 50% chance that I will be unable to read anything I write. So I've given up, and I've just committed to taking notes on my digital devices. And, everything goes into Bear for me. Since I've got off Evernote, Bear's my note-taking app of choice, and it's my brain. And my brain thinks in Markdown, so
yeah,
I like taking notes in Markdown.
I do write a lot of Markdown these days. But like I said, I've sort of gravitated away from those. Rocky says hi, everybody, if you can't hear him.
Yeah.
I sort of have gravitated away from using my OneNote and other things, and just going back to the notebook. And it's actually been a little bit of a boost to my productivity. Because it's interesting because like I can walk out in the morning, I can crack open my notebook to the previous day's page, see what I did and didn't do, and then basically carry some things forward. And it's a way to basically track my work too, which is pretty nice. So anyway. I'd be interested to see if people still actually use notebooks or if I'm a weirdo. So leave your comments below.
Back before all of this, at least where I worked, a lot of people still use notebooks. And honestly, I work in technology. I don't have a problem with people bringing laptops and stuff to take notes on at meetings, but some people do, right? Some people think that it's distracting, or you're not really taking notes, you're browsing Reddit, which I'm sure some people are guilty of, but for me, I just can't read my handwriting. It's so bad. Yeah,
my handwriting isn't necessarily the best either, if I'm honest, but I can read it.
Yeah. Same, Jerry. Only digital because my writing sucks.
Yeah. Friend of the show, Zach Atwood, which I don't know if Zach Atwood, I don't know if he's watching. He probably has the nicest handwriting of any human being I've ever seen. I've never seen his handwriting.
I've never seen him write.
He's got some really nice handwriting. Really nice handwriting. So worth checking out. All right. So we solicited topics for this week's show, and we got some suggestions.
Mm-hmm.
And we I put one on the list here. We don't have to stick with this one. But
No,
it's
I've thought about that one. I have a couple ready
You
if you
got a
want to
couple
go there.
ready? So the
Hmm.
topic to kind of close us out for tonight are what are some of our biggest purchase regrets? And I don't know if
Yeah.
that's necessarily in recent history or all time. Which way did you go with this?
I did all time. Just things that in my brain, I'm just like, why did I buy that?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, hit me.
Why don't you go first? I went first with the favorite memories.
Yeah, yeah.
You're up. You're up. You're up. Unless you
So
don't have one, then I'll
no,
go.
I got one. I got one. So I have bought a lot of new cars in my day, and I know that you're not technically supposed to buy new cars. Like I know that's bad, and it's like bad financial decisions to buy a new car. But I once upon a time bought a Volkswagen Jetta GLI. I remember that I was driving past a car dealership. I saw it in the window, and I'm like, I have to have that car. The car that I was driving was a nice Acura RSX. Love that car. It was a 6 speed. It was powerful. It was a great car. I bought it the year that it debuted. It was the S type, so it was a little bit quicker. I mean, it wasn't ridiculously fast, but it was a little bit faster. And I pulled over at the dealership and I walked out of there with that car. And I had a little bit of regret after I left, but then that car had nothing but problems. Like absolutely nothing but problems. So much to the point where I will probably never own another Volkswagen ever again. Um,
Wow.
Even though I did technically buy an Audi, right?
Right.
And here's the thing: I did have problems with my Audi, right? But they were mostly electrical, and electrical in the sense that it was only my GPS antenna that they had to replace. Everything else about that Audi was perfect. My
Mhm.
my Jetta actually had mechanical problems, and I lemoned it, right? I actually got rid of it and went back to Honda at that point. But
Wow.
that was, and I just had problem after problem after problem with that car. Like they left like some packing material in the engine, right? Like there was like
Oh.
a piece of foam or something somewhere that kept my engine light coming on, and they replaced it, but then that didn't fix it, and then like I went over like a speed bump at extremely low speed and cracked an aftermarket rim, which hey, what do you know? It's not covered by warranty or road hazard because it's aftermarket. So I had to like pay $800 for a new wheel, and it's just like really really bad experience with that car.
Oh, well, oddly enough, my biggest regret is also a car. It was my Honda Civic Hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
That thing, like, I love the idea of getting a hybrid car. I found one that I liked that was in my price range that was car shaped. No offense to all those Prius owners, but I like car shaped cars. Uh, and dude, that car was just I had so many problems with it. I think it was too early. I think it was a 2008, but that doesn't really seem right. It might have been 2008. Who knows? Uh, I had so many problems with that car. Uh, yeah, and like the biggest thing I hated about that car, and I think I talked about this in the podcast before, was like it had two separate uh, like cooling and heating systems. One that ran when the gasoline engine was running, and one that when the electric engine was running. No, not. You know what a car shaped car is? Come on, a Prius is not a car shaped car. Uh, like if you asked a 5-year-old to draw a car, would they draw a Prius?
No.
No. Uh, so in the summer, so like leaving work in the summer was literally the worst because it'd be hot out, so the air conditioner would be running really really high, and it'd be running on the electric version of it because I was sitting a lot of times at stoplights or stop signs or stop traffic lights waiting to get on the freeway. And by the time I got onto the freeway, I had like my battery was dead, and I had absolutely no acceleration on that car because really like I mean it's a simplification, but like the Honda model really is like it's mostly a gasoline engine with kind of like an electric turbocharger, right? So all your acceleration comes out that electric, and like I'd hit the gas and it'd be like, and so I had to learn to turn the air conditioner off, roll the windows down until I got onto the freeway. And it's just like you don't want to think about that when you're driving a car. And
Now,
uh,
if I remember,
and then
you had that car for a decent amount of time too, right?
oh yeah, I had it for a couple of years after it was paid for, and the battery was like It was a nickel. I think those batteries were nickel metal hydrate, and those only last for so long. And I'd put a lot of miles on it because I was driving from where I live to where I work over and over again. Uh, and the battery was dead. And I started looking into it, and it would have been at least $5,000, probably more, to get those batteries replaced. I'm just like, nope, I'm not putting $5,000 into this car. So uh, I took it in and I sold it. And I told him, like, hey, dude, these batteries are just shot. Like, I'm not gonna try to like pull one over your eyes. Like, if I just basically want you to get this car away from me.
Nice.
And they gave me a little bit. They gave me a decent amount. It was a fair price for it, I think. But obviously, it wasn't as much as it would have been if it was newer, because the battery was just shot.
Yeah. Yeah. The next one I had on my list is a snow rake. You know what a snow rake is, Paul?
No,
Okay.
you're saying two words together that shouldn't belong together.
All right. I'm hoping that somebody on the chat knows
Okay.
what a snow rake is, and I hope I'm not
I'm
crazy.
gonna Google snow rake right now.
So
Snow
when we
rake.
first moved into our house,
Oh.
okay, hold on. So this was a panic purchase, and I've used it exactly 0 times. So what it was happening was, yeah, exactly. Smells good, Jerry. It gets the snow off the roof. What was happening was, our house sits at a really weird angle, and the parts of my house that receive sun are covered by trees, and the rest of my house receives no sun. We had lived in our house for about 6 months, and then we had a really cold winter. And I remember that I was over a friend's place helping them with a computer problem, and I got a phone call from my wife saying that our neighbor, who we had never met before, had come over and said that his basement had water on the walls. Now, we live in we're not supposed to call them condos. We're supposed to call them attached homes, right?
Okay.
And we have a shared wall. And there was basically, what happened was, we had an ice damming situation on one of the sections of the house that receives no sun. So like some snow had melted, froze over, and then water dammed up behind it and leaked into the siding and then into the wall and into his basement. So there weren't a lot of good solutions for that. And what I did is, we basically had to get up in the dead of winter on a ladder with a hammer and a screwdriver and basically chisel my roof to get the ice out of it so the water could flow into the gutter and then off, right? So what I did is a panic purchase. I went online because it was supposed to snow more, and I bought a snow rake. And I had no money because I had just bought a house, and this thing was like $120. And what it is it is a plastic thing with wheels on it that you put on your roof, and then you literally rake the snow off of your roof. And I never used it, right? I bought it with the best of intentions, but if it ever got cold or icy, we just went up and just chiseled the ice. And I'm not the biggest fan of heights to begin with, so it was one of those type of situations. So it just sits in my garage. I don't have the heart to throw it away because I spent so much money on it. I might leave it here and make it whoever buys this house next's problem as a reminder of what could have been. But then what happened was, we filed an insurance claim, and the roofing company came out, and what it comes down to is that when my house was built, because it was built in the early 80s, the codes have changed. And there's supposed to be a rubber membrane that goes up from your roof 4 or 5 feet to deal with that. Well, my house was built in a time where that thing didn't exist, so there was nothing to stop the water from coming up the siding and going in. So we had a roofing company came out. They ripped up part of my roof, not my whole roof, just part of my roof, put that membrane on, and it wasn't a problem since. But we would still get water runoff from the roof if it dammed up, and I'd get a little bit of water in my crawl space, but nothing as bad as it was. But I never used it. And then a couple years later, I had my whole roof replaced because we had the wind damage, and we had to get our whole roof replaced, and then they fixed that part too. But anyway, I just have regrets. I should have never bought that thing because it was really expensive, and I didn't even have $100 to spend anything on, and I bought a stupid roof rake.
Yeah, that's not even a product I realized existed.
You're
I
welcome.
guess I've never lived at a place where I had to worry about snow accumulation on my roof.
Yeah. But in some places where the snow gets super deep, I think some people from New York might be shaking their heads in the chat, but in some places where the snow can get really heavy and maybe cause your roof to collapse, I think they're probably a hotter commodity.
Got it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. So I got one more.
All right.
So do you remember back in when did this game come out?
Uh-oh.
The video it came out. It came out in March of 2001,
Okay.
and it was extremely hyped as revolutionary artificial intelligence that you have never seen in a video game, coming from just could do no wrong video game designer Peter Molyneux.
Oh no.
And it was Black and White, the video game.
Oh no,
Dude.
I feel attacked. I love that game.
Oh, dude. So I was so excited for that video game. So excited. I never had done this because I think 2001 was before we really had digital video games, right? So like I had actually like pre-ordered the game from like a GameStop and like picked it up at midnight and was so excited.
Yeah, you could be
And
the
I brought that
giant
game
cat.
home. That game was awful.
That's the game that turned me into
Awful.
a furry.
In every way, shape, or form, that game was awful. It did not live up to its expectations. It did not live up to its hype. I was so disappointed in that game. And I was just like, I felt swindled. That game was just so, like, it did not live up to the hype that was just being built over and over again, and all the press that Mr. Molyneux was doing about it. And it was bad. Like, yeah, you could flick the villagers and you could, give your little furry guy scritches, but it was bad. It was so bad.
It's okay. Hang on. So, okay. To be fair,
Huh?
yes, that game at launch had some problems, but I remember I played through it.
No buts.
But I played through it. I dealt with it. But then, like, once there were some patches and some mods for that game, it was really good. It was really good. I have very fond memories of that game. Very, very fond memories of that game. So I feel attacked.
No.
You're bullying me.
Honestly, to this day, when I pre-order a video game or thinking about pre-ordering a video game, I think, remember, you pre-ordered Black and White. And that was awful.
Fool me once.
Like I still have that instinct to this day. Honestly, it's only kind of bit me once. What was the name of it's escaping me. That big like first person dynamically generated universe space game.
Sky.
No Man's Sky. Yeah, and that game's actually gotten a lot better since the patches.
That
but
game's phenomenal.
That game was awful when it came out.
Yes, it was.
And I had also pre-ordered that. And I was like, I did it again. Yeah, I did play maybe about 20, 30 hours of it after the patches, and it was much better.
Yeah, they just added mechs.
Did they?
Yeah, that's a good game. That's a good game.
I'm too hooked on my crummy MMO to play anything else right now.
Oh, you're still playing that?
I am.
Oh, nice. Hey, speaking of video games,
Mm-hmm.
the Epic Game Store has a big sale right now, and I'm going to play a
Okay.
game that came highly recommended from you, and I'm probably going to record the series of me playing. I don't know if I'll live stream it. I might record it. Control.
Yeah.
Control is supposed to be pretty good.
It is really good. There are some parts that are like there's no difficulty setting in the game, which I'm totally fine with. Like I don't play the games on like super hard. I usually leave it on normal because I feel like that's what the developers intended. But like there are some parts of that game that just like the difficulty level just spikes, just incredible. Luckily, like, and even then, the hardest parts of the game are really some of the like side bosses that you can just totally ignore. So I guess that's fair. But that's really good. Yeah, if you stream that, I may watch that over your shoulder.
Okay. Yeah, I like the concept of that game, and I've been waiting for a sale to get it. I think I'm gonna pull the trigger.
Yeah, it's really got a great setting and a great mood. It's very atmospheric. It leans into it, like, and I don't know whether you're one of the guys. Like, there's a lot of collectibles. There's a lot of things you can do. Like, you can get a collectible, and there's either some that are like a video clip and some that are like text. I really recommend just taking the time when you get one of those, just stopping and reading, because I think it really adds so much to especially the video clips. Mm-hmm. They really add so much to the game and kind of tell you the story. Okay. You're really doing yourself a disservice if you kind of just skip those and blow past them.
All right.
Like, take your time and enjoy that story.
Okay, I'm gonna.
It's good.
I'm gonna.
Yeah. I think there's some DLC out for it too. Wonder if I should
Yeah,
go back and
yeah.
play that.
There's some DLC coming out now that's supposed to tie it to the Alan Wake universe, and I don't know if you've ever played the Alan Wake
Mm.
games.
I have never played the Alan Wake games.
Yeah,
No.
you would dig it. You would dig it. So that's part of the reason it got back on my radar. But
Yeah.
all right. Well, we've been doing this for an hour. People have been hanging out. So
Yeah.
we're probably gonna wrap it up here in a couple minutes. But I want to say for everybody that hung out with us tonight, thank you for hanging out. Hopefully this was fun. Maybe we'll do this again sometime. You guys are great.
Yeah.
Obviously, we would love your feedback.
Hmm.
If there's regretsies that you have about your purchases, or
Mm.
stuff that were your favorite parts of our show that you really enjoyed that we didn't mention. So here's what I want you to do. You're gonna like tweet or email us or tell us things, and we can relive those moments. So Paul, where can people get a hold of us?
As always, you can find us on the internet at doingtheirbest.com, and you can reach us on the Twitters at doingbestpod, and you can reach me on Twitter at Paul Baylor. That's Bahler. And where can we find you, Drew?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Pittsburgh, Pittfurg. It now dawns on me I should have put that under our portraits on the podcast. Living
Oh, well, you know what? I mean, we should think about doing this more often or all the time. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty
Yeah.
good. Yeah, and
Yeah.
everything worked pretty good. Now I know
Yeah.
other things we can do.
Yeah. And we had a couple little minor issues at the beginning, but we figured those out real quick. So, I just want to, reiterate what Drew said. Like, uh, like I really appreciate everyone who listens to the show, who took 60 minutes of their time today and watched us do this live for real. You hear a lot more keyboard clicks and a lot more stutters. I try to clean a lot of that stuff up in the dongs.
Songs.
In the final edit. But yeah, this was real great. I really appreciate everyone. Like Drew said at the beginning, like I do this for me. I do this. I get to talk to Drew. But the fact that you guys actually listen and enjoy the podcast means so much to me. So, just thanks to everybody. You're the best.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, we're gonna keep going. We haven't run out of stuff to talk
Mhm.
about yet. We're already planning for our 100th episode.
Yeah.
Where we're all gonna party at the Garland Hotel. We're gonna expose the conspiracy. We're gonna do it. We're all
Dude,
gonna go there.
I'm ready.
I'm
ready.
We're all gonna get rooms. So, all right.
Oh,
Well, let's go ahead and wrap,
all right.
everybody. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah,
This
thanks
will
a lot.
obviously be available on YouTube forever for us to
Forever.
be shameful, and we'll record. So,
All right.
thanks everybody.
Thanks.
All
Yeah.
right.
Miss you too, Jerry. Mwah.
Yeah. Bye. Smells like Sherry. All right. I'm gonna slowly fade us out, and I'm gonna put us out. I'm gonna mute